Not everything in the dollar store is for nail techs, but I wanted to see what was worth it. We need to find something to do an acrylic full set for my girls who want to practice but on a budget, because prices is going up. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video to hear my verdict on all the products that I'm buying. First off, scanning all the nail things. They have a lot of things for your natural nails, but not really that much for acrylic nails. But this really caught my attention because it looked like a drill bit, and I was like, I know the dollar stand can end up like this. They got drill bits in here. And then also the soak off clips. They had those everywhere around in the store. And then this really caught my attention, the files, because it looks like a 100 grit file. I was like, I know they ain't got a 100 grit file in here. And then you got diamonds, and they have these glitters for like encapsulation. I really had to keep it in my head that I'm trying to do a full set with this stuff out of here. So I was really looking at the glitters and trying to see like what I could use. I already have those, so I didn't really want to use those. All they had was the regular nail polish. I was really trying to scan and see if they had gel nail polishes, but now brush on glue. Now I have tried the blush on glue and the top has gotten stuck, so that's a no. So I just went for the one that just squeezed out. Easy, simple. I shimmy down a little farther, and what a coincidence, look who I see again. The soak off clips. And then boom, I finally found my bestie, the Kiss acrylic nail kit. Now I've been looking for this and I have seen people do this, but they ain't giving y'all the raw like me. So I wanted to make sure I grabbed this so I could be able to tell y'all if it's worth it or not. I made sure I skedaddled to the register because we were on a time crunch, and my total ended up to $14.54. Not too bad. Once I got back to the salon, I made sure that I unwrapped everything and made sure everything was functioning and proper so I could get this show on the route. First thing I noticed when putting the tips on, they are a little thick. Now most tips, they are on the thinner side so they could like be flush to the nail, but with these, the opposite. I really like this nail glue because it didn't take long to dry. Like soon as you stick it to the tips, it's drying right then and there within seconds of you holding it. Because most of the nail glue that I have, you be holding and you think it's going to dry, and the whole time it's not dry, and now the tip is coming off. But the reason why you saw me holding it here for some extra time was because I thought it was like those other nail glues. I was scared, y'all. I got PTSD. But once I noticed that this nail glue is a real one, she a real one, I was on the road with putting these tips on. I wanted to keep the tips like this. This is definitely giving me Y2K. Unpopular opinion, I really like thick French tips. But then I thought about it. I know sometimes my pop-off says don't be pop-off-ing, and they stay on for like a day and then decide to come off. Now the brush, I really was just trying to unstiffen it by running my fingers through it. It did not come crimped, so take note of that. I know I wanted to do encapsulation when I seen this glitter in the store, and good thing I grabbed it, because this acrylic, when I tell y'all, I was trying to like pat it down and do it like how I usually do my regular acrylic application. But this acrylic, it don't allow you to do that. Like, it keeps getting stuck in the brush. Like, you're not able to pat it down. Like, you just got to put it down, maneuver it a little bit to cover whatever space of the nail you want to cover, and then hurry up and swipe it down before it gets stiff on you. I think I know why. I'm not sure if they had a description of the hairs on the brush or what type they are, but they do feel very stiff, very brittle, very dry. Definitely not Kolinsky kind of feel synthetic. I definitely try my best to build the nail up, give it the structure, apex, all that, but this powder and this monomer was not working with me. It was definitely working against me, including this brush. But the nail tips was definitely thick enough to give it that structure and give it that hold to where it's not bending or breaking or doing anything crazy like that. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just give it one thin layer of acrylic and go on by my business on the tips. Now, when it was time to file and I looked at the back of the file, why it said this thing could be cleaned with soap and water and pat dry? Look, I don't know about all that. I just know I'm about to file these nails and call it a day. I don't know about washing no file. You could wash files? Let me know in the comments down below. Could you wash files? These files don't have any grits on them, but I'm just going to assume that the white rough one is the one that's like probably 100 or 80 grit. I'll give it 100 through 120, but I'm gonna use the pink one as a buffer because that one was more on the smoother side. If you haven't seen my video on how I file nails without a drill, I'm gonna leave it right here and in the description down below if you're watching on TV. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this content. I'm finally done hacking at these nails. Now it's time to dust them off and clean them up and get ready to polish them. Now, the polish that I am using, it is like regular polish because I wanted to make sure that I was getting things that can be found in the dollar store. I didn't get this polish out of the dollar store. I've been had this polish, but it is by OPI. It's just regular clear top coat. It is time for the ultimate verdict of what I think of these products. Now, starting off with the files, I really like the files. Files are files. I feel like you can't go wrong with files. It depends on what grit you get. But the only thing with those files, they didn't say the grit. So you really just have to have an eye for files and know, like, based on the texture, what grit you think it is. The glitter, it was glitter. It was good for encapsulation. Oh, but I really like the fact that it laid flat. Most glitters, they don't really lay flat and they stick up off the nail depending on how big they are, how thick they are. But I really like that those were easy to encapsulate. Last but not least, the nail kit. The nail kit is really good for practicing. Would I do a full set on somebody's nails with what's in the kit? No, the brush was very horrible to work with. It kept getting stuck. It didn't allow the product to glide. The monomer, it was liquid, it was regular, but I couldn't really tell what was the defect in it that had the product so streaky when it got time to apply it. It might have been the brush. I'm not sure. I really did enjoy doing these nails and I think they came out great for what all I had to use. And let me know in the comments down below, how do y'all like them? And I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.